So the Eagles are going to do one of two things. Trade back up into the top 10, or they're going to stay at 12 and trade back up into the first round. And the reason they're going to do this is because Nick Sirianni has the power of Inception.
Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole.
Oh, Dingbat! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy! Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. Philly 500 is my name, and Double Moonwalking is my game. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you guys are doing well. You know, somebody said to me the other day, they said, yo, Philly 500, man, you're too animated all the time. You're too uppity. You're too animated. I can't even say it. You're too animated. I said, of course I'm animated. Of course. Look at this face. Look at it. Look at it. Do you think a woman would stay married to this for 14 years? I don't think so, unless I'm animated in everything I do. You know what I'm saying? I am what I am. That is it. And I can never change. This is me on YouTube. This is me off of YouTube. So to that person, I just want to say, too bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Had to get that off my chest. You know? Hey, draft is coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm planning a bunch of live streams. I had one planned today, but to be honest with you, with everything going on with my grandmother, I'm also closing on a house today. So I have a lot of things going on, traveling, this evening, just a lot of things. So, I'm sorry I can't do a live stream today. Maybe we'll do one tomorrow, if possible. I'm trying to put something together with Mark Holmes on Saturday. That should be a lot of fun. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about today is the Eagles draft strategy. There is a thought, there is a feeling that I've had, many of you guys have probably had it too, that when the Eagles made that trade, when they made that trade with the Miami Dolphins, the reason they did it was not just to trade back to 12, but there is something else coming. There's another foot that is going to drop. There's something else to this. I am a big believer that this is the case. I'm a big believer that the Eagles didn't just say, we don't want Jamar Chase. We don't want Kyle Pitts. We just want the extra pick, save a little money, and we're good with that. I think they have a plan. And I think they're going to execute this and carry it out like champs. You know what I mean? The one thing I can say Howie Roseman does right, he's a good trader. He is. Horrible evaluator of talent, but he's a good trader. And this is where Nick Sirianni is going to come in. I love the guy. Now, ESPN kind of brought this up. I'll put the link in the description, but they were talking about how this whole trade with Miami feels like the Eagles could be having, have something up their sleeve. I believe it to be true. You have 11 picks in the first round of the draft. You have possibly 3 first-round picks next year. I think this is where the Eagles want to be. I think their whole off season has been waiting for this moment, in the draft. Okay? I think we all know that the Eagles are going to be the most aggressive team in this draft. I mean, sure, there'll be other teams that are aggressive, but I think this team will be. And the whole key for the Eagles, really, in my opinion, is they got to hit on the picks. I mean, that's really what the biggest issue is. That's the biggest fear with many of us when dealing with Howie Roseman. Now, in yesterday's video, I said that I think Nick Sirianni is the thing that is going to change past draft picks by Howie in this front office. And the reason I say that is because I believe this dude, I believe my cannoli-eating friend is a hell of a salesman. I think he's a natural-born salesman. People say, well, how could you believe in him so soon? He hasn't even coached one football game. He hasn't. But if you look at him and you listen to him and just the way he talks, the gut reaction, the instinctive reaction I get from Nick Sirianni is he's a salesman, okay? And he can sell anything. He can sell it in a way where you think it was your idea, you think it to be true. It's called Inception. You ever see the movie Inception? That's what he is. He can plant things in your mind that take hold, that grow, and then you think it's your own idea. He could sell a fat man like me a carrot and tell you it's a Twix, and you'd bite into that mother humper and go, good. You know what I mean? He can sell anything. I think that from just a gut standpoint of who he is, what he is, I think he's a salesman. I think he's genuinely, he has excitement, he has a way of explaining things that people will buy into naturally. This is the great equalizer for Howie Roseman. Now, he hasn't coached one football game. We don't know what he is as a head coach. I am high on him. I'm high on the staff. But I'm telling you, from a gut instinct standpoint, I think this guy's a natural salesman. I think the way he approaches things, the way he's going to talk to people, just my gut feeling, is he's good at selling. And I think a guy like Howie Roseman, a guy like that, you want to get through to him. You want to get him to go and see things the way you want to see it. You can't fight him. You can't argue. You have to use Inception. You have to plant the idea in his head and make him think that it was his idea. I think Nick Sirianni could do it. Now, this is my theory. I have no proof, but this is my theory. And this is why I think the Eagles are going to make the right pick at 12, or if they trade up, okay? Here are guys that I'm going to be totally okay with. You won't hear me complain at all if they draft at 12. Davonte Smith, Jaylen Waddle, Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn, trade up for any of those guys like Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Penny Sewell drops, even Rashawn Slater. All those guys, if they take any of those guys, it's a good pick, in my opinion. Now, personally, I think Davonte Smith would be the best guy on the board, okay? But I think that Nick Sirianni has the ability to do this. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be a good head coach or anything like that. It just means I think this guy can sell his ideas to anybody. It's just a gut feeling I get from watching and listening to him. And we're going to see if my theory's correct. But if it is, we're going to get the right guy, and we're going to be active. And I would not be surprised to see the Eagles come back up into the top 10. Like I said, ESPN put the link in the description. They were talking about this themselves. They were saying it feels like something else is going to drop. It feels like that Miami Dolphin trade is only step one. I totally think that. I think if you see a Jamar Chase or a Kyle Pitts, let's say, drop to 7 or 8, I think they're going up for him. If they really like Rashawn Slater, or if a Penny Sewell is dropping, maybe they love Patrick Surtain and they don't want Dallas again. They're going to make that move. So I expect them to trade up in the first round at some point. The question is going to be, are they going to trade up back into the top 10, or are they going to come back into the first round? They have the 37th pick, right? They have a second round pick, 2/3, a plethora of first round picks next year. Why not? If a guy like JOK is still on the board, why not come up for him? Why not, if you get a Caleb Farley dropping mid to late first round, why not trade back up for him? Especially if you took like a Waddle or Davonte Smith with your first pick. The Eagles have the firepower and the ammunition to do this. Not to mention, if you have Zach Ertz, and you're able to trade him, you maybe get some for him. I mean, there was a lot of talk. Well, there was a theoretical trade rumor that was out. I forget who put it out, and they were talking about the Eagles trading Ertz to Buffalo, getting their 30th pick. Buffalo gets our 37th pick. I mean, you may see something like that. I would prefer a little more for Ertz, but it is what it is. But I think the Eagles are going to be the most aggressive team in this draft. And it excites the hell out of me. I bet you Dak Anthony, where's the fitness? I bet you he doesn't even take a nap during the Eagles. When the Eagles are on the clock, the whole world's going to stop. They're going to watch. And they're going to watch to either laugh at us or to be wowed. And I think Nick's, and this is just a gut feeling. I'm not saying he's the greatest coach. He's going to be, I like the guy. I really do. But my gut feeling is this guy can get to Howie. I think he can influence him because I think the way he talks and the way he sounds, he brings such excitement that he's selling who he wants. He's selling his ideas. And I think this is going to be a situation where maybe the Eagles did hire him as a yes man. Totally possible, right? Totally possible. But what they're getting is one hell of a sales guy that is going to influence them. This is my prediction for the draft. This is what I believe. And until we see what happens, I'm going to continue to believe it. If they take Kwity Paye or Gregory Rousseau, I'm going to say, oh, hell, crap. I got to break this wall. I got to flip out because I'm going to lose it. But I don't know. I know this is crazy because of Howie and how he dressed. But I can't help but think that I feel really good about this draft. I feel like we're going to hit this pick. I feel like we're going to hit 2 picks at least in the first 2 picks. I feel like we're going to come away with 2 first-round picks. I'm excited, man. I'm ecstatic. It's ludicrous. You know what I mean? White Mike Tyson here. But I'm telling you. I think that Nick Sirianni is I think he's more influential and he's going to have more say than people think he is. Not like Doug, who basically did nothing. Doug wouldn't be able to do this. Doug couldn't pull off. But this kid, this kid, I think can. Now, this is a theory, and we'll see. I could be totally wrong. Well, you know what? I've been wrong a lot of times in my life. I'm going to be wrong a lot more. Just ask my wife. Just ask her. She'll tell you. You know what I mean? But it's my feelings, and I feel good about this draft. I know I shouldn't. There are parts of me that are nervous. I'm mostly nervous about the Eagles taking a defensive end at 12. That's what scares me the most. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting. But when it comes to the Eagles, step 2 of this whole process with the trade with Miami, there's something up, dude. Something is going on. They did that for a strategic reason. I fully believe it. It wasn't just a trade back and now they're done. They're going to sit in their place and not do anything. They have a plan. I got to believe it. And if they get this wrong, if Howie get this wrong, he's got to go. I mean, like I've said from the beginning, I would have gotten rid of him at the end of the offseason. I thought that was the big move. But when I hear Sirianni speak and engage, I got to feel like he just comes off to me like he wouldn't approach Howie in a way like that's confrontational. He would sell him on it, okay? And sometimes how you speak to people, knowing how to talk to people, makes all the difference in the world. You can't talk to one guy the same as another guy. You have to know different approaches. Gut instinct, this guy's a salesman. And we are going to be very, very happy when the Eagles make their selection at 12. I cannot wait. I'll be streaming the Mother Humper. It's going to be fun. Now, one of the things I'm going to also start doing is I'm going to start putting out my top 5 prospects at different positions. I'll probably do a couple of these a week at the end of my videos because the draft's only 2 weeks away. But today I just wanted to start with wide receiver. I wanted to give you my top 5 wide receivers in this draft in this order, okay? Now, this is just my personal opinion. I would love to hear your guys' personal opinion. Respect all differences. It don't matter. You could say whatever you want. I love it. But here are my top 5. Number 1 wide receiver in this draft, Ja'Marr Chase. No question about it. Before the draft process started, when we got early in the offseason, I really had Davonte Smith ahead of him, partly because he took off the whole year. That's all changed. Ja'Marr Chase, clearly the best receiver in this draft. Number 2, I have Davonte Smith. A lot of people are worried about his size. Is he too skinny? Is he going to get hurt? All I can say is this. If he was 15 to 20 pounds heavier, everybody would be loving him. There would be no complaint. So if that's the only complaint we could have with Davonte Smith, he's definitely a good player. So he's my number 2. Number 3, most explosive player, explosive wide receiver in this draft, Jaylen Waddle. I think Jaylen Waddle is clearly the top 3 prospect when it comes to wide receivers. Him and Davonte Smith are very close. I have Smith slightly ahead, but I mean from an explosive standpoint, I don't know if there's anybody more explosive. My number 4 wide receiver may surprise people. It's Terence Marshall Jr. I love him. You know what I mean? I love the guy. Double pulse. You know what I'm saying? I think he's probably going to go in the first round. I think because he was Jamar Chase's, a teammate on the other side of him, he gets overlooked. But I like him. I think he's big, fast, explosive, perfect fit for the Eagles, especially if something happens like, let's say the Eagles take Surtain. Let's say the Eagles take, J.C. Horn. Then you got to trade back up and get Terence Marshall Jr. That'd be a perfect draft. I'd be okay with that. So he's my number 4. Then Rashad Bateman is my number 5. I think the kid is really good. And when I say, look, top 5 wide receivers with this class, I think they're all studs. I do. And Rashad Bateman, I think he's tough. He plays tough. He plays physical. Great all-around game. I think he's going to be a stud as well. But those are my top 5 wide receivers. The next one I'll probably do is my top 5 running backs. But Jamar Chase, Davonte Smith, Jaylen Waddle, Terence Marshall Jr., and Rashad Bateman, my top 5. Let me know your top 5. Let me know what you think about my theory about Nick Sirianni, my cannoli-eating friend. Is he going to be the salesman we need him to be? Does he have the power of Inception? Take care. Talk to you later. And of course, don't be a dingbat.